The Amos Summer of Science series is brought to you by Thermo Fisher SCIENTIFIC. Thermo Fisher is the world leader in serving science. Their mission is to enable customers to make the world healthier, cleaner, and safer. Thermo Fisher SCIENTIFIC, step up, step beyond. More information at thermofisher.com. And Hedrick Industries, standing for quality and commitment to service. hedrickind.com. And Baker Grading and Landscaping, changing the landscape while keeping with nature's flow. bakergrading.com. And Gillespie Dental Associates, attention to detail, attention to your personalized care for your unique needs. drtimgillespie.com. And member and donor support from people like you. Hello and welcome to the Asheville Museum of Science Summer of Science series. I'm Stephen Forbes, the Director of Development for Asheville Museum of Science, and I have with us one of our Amos educators, Abigail Malmborg, who's going to be talking to us about her experiences as a STEM educator and what has influenced her in getting into science technology in the first place. So we are excited to launch this Summer of Science series, and we are excited to get to know one of our educators, Abigail. So Abby, let me start by just asking you, you were a biology major in college. What was one of your early influences to pursue a degree in science?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be the first guest to kick off this segment. But I would say that I've had a lot of influences that definitely, I guess, sprouted my excitement about science, but it really started with my interest in nursing and physiology. So I started as a nursing student in school and gradually got interested in research and the biology that goes into physiology and nursing. And that's when I kind of made my transition from nursing student to biology student.
So when do you think you first got an interest in physiology? You were telling me something earlier about how you liked things making sense.
Yeah, so my mom was a nurse, and so that was kind of the first step, is I had an example of what, you know, a scientist or somebody who's in science and public health, what they do. And so I was lucky enough to have shadowing opportunities, and I really enjoyed that physiology just made sense in the way that it's a cascade of events. So you start with, you know, a problem or just some sort of change in physiology, and there's very I guess chronological steps that happen in response to that make a lot of sense, and it kind of explains a lot of things for me, and that's what I really enjoy. I really enjoy understanding the kind of behind the scenes, and I think that's what a lot of scientists aim to do.
Okay, we are going to take a quick break right here, and we're going to hear from one of our amazing well, not a sponsor, but somebody who has a warm greeting for the rest of us, and we're going to get back to this in just a second.
Hello to the Asheville Museum of Science. This is astronaut Terry Virts, and I want to congratulate you on your Summer of Science series. I can still remember as a kid going down to the Air and Space Museum, and I saw a movie called To Fly. It was one of the first IMAX movies, and I was captured for life. I've seen that movie 100 times since then, and that film and that experience, seeing airplanes in the museum and rockets and learning about science, just captured me for life. It really inspired me to be a pilot and then astronaut. Astronomy and space photography and going into space is something that I love, and I can really credit that to my time going to science museums as a kid. Also, the Maryland Science Center in Baltimore was another one of my favorite places. I spent a lot of hours in multiple science museums and the Air and Space Museum. So it's an important part. And, you know, capturing kids at a young age is what you need to do, because once they get it in their mind that there is this amazing career field out there in STEM, lots of different things to do in science and technology. And for me, I've moved on to the arts because I'm actually doing a few different books as an author and also doing TV and film projects. I'm working on a film project right now. So those experiences as a kid and being inspired and seeing all of the amazing things at my local museums where I grew up is what enabled me to be where I am today. So good luck on your summer program. I wish I was there in Asheville, and it would be much nicer than being here in Texas melting. So good luck to everybody, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.
Welcome back. We are very glad to hear from astronaut Terry Virts about how he was personally touched by his childhood experiences at a science and technology center. We are talking today with Abigail Malmborg and what influenced her career in the sciences and how she has helped inspire others to pursue STEM education and careers. Abby, you mentioned to me that you studied in the Peruvian Amazon forest through Radford University. Can you play a clip for us describing your experiences there?
Yeah, let me go ahead and bring up my screen to share.
Here at the biodiversity station, instead of sitting in a classroom where your professor is lecturing at you and you're learning from them, it's a much more open discussion. It is us as students, we get to make decisions about our projects, about our research, about what we want to know, and then our professors are there to guide us.
Probably the most rewarding aspect for this research trip for me is that I get to do my entirely own project and get to see how I do on my own field work and dealing with all the curveballs that field research throws at you, especially in the middle of the jungle.
I think for most of these students, it's going to be a life-altering experience.
It encourages you to think all the time about your field and to really view yourself as a scientist. Everything that I've learned, all the classes that I've taken, they're valuable. I understand now why I need that knowledge. I understand how this is applied. If there's one thing that I hope the students can take away from this experience, it's that there's a reason for science, and that science is not a textbook thing. It's not something that's already been done. It's something that you do. It is a process. It is a working thing. That you go out there and you study these things that are unknown. And there's so much that's unknown, and that they can be the ones to discover. That they can actually advance that frontier. That they can take steps to find a tree or a frog or a physiological aspect or an antimicrobial property that no one else has ever seen. That those small advances in knowledge make a huge difference, that they can help protect this place, that they can help to make the world a better place, that it's a real thing.
Yeah, so that video touched on a lot of what was so amazing and informative about that trip. But I would say that it gives you so much hands-on experience. Sorry, still playing something. There we go. Sorry about that. But yeah, it gives you just like, it throws you right in, and it forces you to roll with the punches, which in the Amazon and in the rainforest and the jungle, there is a lot of curveballs that you will not expect. And there's some really funny stories along with that if you're ever interested. But yeah, it was probably one of the most amazing experiences of my life.
One of the things that I heard in the video is that it said that science isn't something that's been done, it's something that you do. And that you got to discover some aspects of science and biology and how that has an effect on us, how our environment has an effect on us. Can you share with us, can you share with the viewers what it was that you learned regarding that?
Yeah, that's a really important part, I think, of understanding science education is you have to really show the people that you're teaching that exactly that science is not something that's already done. There is so much more to do. And the point of science is to fill the gaps in the knowledge, that we already have. So we're constantly building, we're using each other's knowledge that we've published and that we've put out there to make new inferences, new ideas, and then new questions. And so it's a never-ending process. I mean, there's so many things that need to be known. And it's hard, I think, to remember when you're a kid in science class that science itself is already a huge field. So you're never going to study everything in science, I didn't study astronomy, so I'm so thankful that we've had an astronomer educator here, because I can't speak to that very well. And so it's hard, it's very intimidating to think that when you're taking science classes, like, there's so much to know, but really, you get when you do conduct research and when you find something that you're interested in, whether it's chemistry, whether it's biology, physics, computer science, whatever field within science, whatever's under that umbrella, there's so much that needs to be discovered. And I think it starts with just enjoying learning about it.
That's a great explanation for what it is that we do here at Amos. And I think that that's a good segue into the work that you're doing now as an Amos educator. Can you talk to us about some of the opportunities that you have had to teach children? We talk all the time about having wow moments. When have you seen a wow moment where you can see a child gets it and their eyes open up for the first time?
Yeah, and the wow moments are really important. And I can remember several wow moments in my life, especially through my college career and onward into the workforce, that I just felt personal growth from learning these things. And it gives you a deeper understanding about, not just this topic and not just that experiment that we do that one day, that demo, but applying that knowledge to other aspects of where it works. And one example I love is we're doing a summer camp right now with the YMCA, and we did bottle rockets, of course, because that's a favorite. And it's a great example of a chemical reaction. So you start with your two reactants and you end with products that are different. And it's obviously a very showy reaction. It causes a lot of pressure in your bottle and it shoots right up. And every time a student gets their bottle off the ground and it launches, you see the pure excitement of, I did it. And I think when a student gets to do hands-on experiments, when they get, even if it's something as simple as a bottle rocket, which is a great place to start, I think that it's very autonomous. They have a lot of pride in what they're doing, and they're proud of themselves for understanding how it works. And a lot of that is going to be letting them fail. And I can definitely speak for researchers when I say there will be a lot of failure. I've experienced many in a lab setting that is very scary and very sad and whatever. But I mean, I think that the wow moments are really the things that will drive people to continue their education, and especially in the STEM field. And I feel like when the student gets to complete a task on their own within the STEM field, they feel that sense of pride that I did it, I did science. And that's a really exciting moment for us as educators.
You also got to help with putting together Summer Camp in a Box. And these are activity kits that have been sent out to children literally all across the nation, because people here have been sending them to New York and California and Oregon and such. Can you talk to us about some of the activities that you put in a box, and then how you're able to show or demonstrate or help children use what you put into a box?
Yeah, that was a fun challenge for us as the educators to try and, because the challenge is that you want to not only have a fun activity, but you want it to demonstrate a scientific concept. And when you're not face to face, that can be really challenging. Science is really hard to explain via a box. But I think that we did a really good job doing that. And our approach was kind of, what activities what consumable items can we put in here that are going to be cheap, that we can send out to many kids everywhere to make, because we wanted to make our boxes affordable for, anyone that wanted them, which I think that we did a good job of. And so it was definitely a challenge. We wanted to keep it cheap. We wanted to keep it fun and keep the wow factor that we were talking about, but we also wanted to have solid science foundation within it, so they're actually getting something out of this. And I think that a lot of the activities had to do with building something. So already you're working on dexterity, you're working on mechanics almost, because you're kind of building and learning how things attach and move together. And then also after the fact that you put it together, you get to see it work. And so that's like the process side of it. So not only are you walking through the methods and you're walking through the setup of your experiment, whenever that is for the day, there's clear instructions of how to do that. And I think it's nice that they can do it on their own, and then they still get to see that final product by themselves. And we send them away with additional resources to check out online. And so the challenge of virtual learning or remote learning has definitely been hard, but I think that as the days go on, we find other ways to achieve our goals and serve our mission.
We're going to take another break right here and receive an important message from our board president, Rachel Sparks.
Thank you for tuning in to the Amos Summer of Science series. I'm Rachel Sparks, board president for the Asheville Museum of Science. We're excited to share this series with friends and supporters. During the pandemic, it's important that we use digital technology to continue the mission of Amos to spark curiosity and a lifelong love of learning. Amos has shared online programs like our Daily Doses of Science and Ask the Scientist over 115,000 times, with over 3,000 science explorers during quarantine. The Summer of Science series will share important science curriculum, and I encourage your support of our programs. Temporarily closing the museum has had a significant impact on our services and our finances, so I'm asking for your support with a donation of $40. That can sponsor 25 online engagements in STEM learning. Some can give more and some less, and any amount you can give will be very helpful. Please go online to ashevillescience.org/support-us or text the number on your screen to donate. Thank you so much.
There is so much more we got to talk about Abby that we were not able to fit into this short video. For full access to Abby's interview, please visit us at ashevillescience.org and follow the links to our Summer of Science page. To support our digital STEM education programs, please visit ashevillescience.org/support-us or use our text to donate option. Abby, on behalf of the Asheville Museum of Science, thank you for being part of our great team of educators.
Thank you.